A lot of credit. Coach Ergo does a terrific job. Really respect the way his kids play and how they compete. They play extremely hard. They make things very difficult on you in the course of the game, having to read and react on what they're doing. They're gutsy, and they always will be under him. So a credit to them. I thought their kids hung in there tough. They made the plays when they needed to make them late, and were able to pull out a great road win here in January. Unfortunate for us not being able to get back in the win column, but I didn't think we really deserved it, with the way we started the second half. Start of the second half was the key to the game. We talked a lot about it at halftime. Thought the guys who finished the first half did a phenomenal job. We dealt with foul trouble in the first half a lot. Our guys did a great job in the first half of building a lead and getting it. Coming out of halftime, the group that started the second half, really poor job of being ready. Game changed. And from that point forward, we were in a war, pretty much the rest of the way. Thought it could have went either way. The free throw line absolutely stopped us from being able to control it there with about 6 minutes to go. I think we had maybe two front ends of a 1-and-1, at least a pair. It was probably about 4 or 5 free throws. With a lead, one possession game, whatever it may be. But when you get fouled and you earn fouls and you earn the right to get to the line in 6 minutes to go, 5 minutes to go in a one possession game, you got to make them. You can't come up empty. And we kept coming up empty, and eventually they were able to take advantage of that. I thought that really kind of shook us. We still had our chances, still had our opportunities, but just not good enough on either side of the ball. Didn't start the second half well. Momentum changed quickly. Free throw line really hurt us late, and just disappointed for our guys, disappointed for our fans. Again, students were great turnout, fantastic. I appreciate it. I got to do a better job in giving some people more things to cheer about around here. But disappointed, but also credit to Fordham. They earned it, and I felt like we were ready. I felt like we got off to a decent start, but the start of the second half changed the momentum. We weren't able to hold the momentum with the foul line late.
Archie, the late game execution situation, some of those turnovers, just where did you guys go wrong in those situations today?
I don't know which ones you're talking about in particular.
The inbound to David to Cam.
The inbound David to Cam on the last rebound?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's 6 seconds to go. And if he misses the free throw, we have no timeouts. The bottom line is you either have to have a point guard on your team slice in front of that rebound and get it on the run, or Dave Green has to understand, which we said, you got to get it and go. And I think at the end of the day, he turned to rebound for the outlet. Whether he picked his dribble up or not, I'm not sure. But at that point in time, Fordham jammed the outlet. Unfortunate turnover. I wish that at the end of the day, I could have probably told him, whoever gets it, go. And he would have had more of a chance. But with 6 seconds, there's definitely some time to push it down there. So that'll be on me.
Coach, did you sense any immaturity in this game from your team, just whether it was getting sped up or just chirping at Fordham players? Did you sense any of that?
I didn't sense any immaturity. I sensed a lack of concentration. In a couple guys. I think a couple guys tonight, from a concentration level, when you look at the early fouls and then you look at the start of the second half, I thought in particular some concentration level wasn't there. That needs to get a little better. I didn't sense any immaturity or the game being any other way than usual.
Archie, you held one of the best offensive rebounding teams to only 5 boards. Despite the loss, do you see that as something you can build off?
David Fuchs was phenomenal tonight. He's a freshman in college basketball, and he got 17 rebounds in a game, 13 defensive rebounds by himself. He was phenomenal rebounding the ball. He pretty much gobbled up everything that was in sight. And when you rebound the ball at home 42-31 and you hold arguably the best offensive rebounding team in our league to 5, that should give you a great opportunity to win the game. And but defensively, we weren't good enough either. I mean, simple things, simple concepts beat us. Driving line defense beat us, but I thought we rebounded the ball well, and in particular, I mean, if you just look at it, we had, he had 13 defensive rebounds. I mean, he's a freshman in college, so I think we act like he's out there to be a senior, but he's a freshman.
Archie, what did you find midway through the second half when you started going to the two bigs and then you slowed the tempo there?
Here's the thing with Fordham. You don't know what kind of defense they're playing every time down, and your normal things don't work. They just don't. You're not going to get catches for your best players. They're going to leave players unguarded. They're going to switch to zone to man or whatever. So the bottom line was at some point in time in the second half, which I thought early in the start, especially start the second half, we were out of sorts. You can't move the ball. When you can't move the ball, you have to put the ball in your guard's hands. You have to open the floor up to the best of your ability, and you have to see if you can't pick on some different things conceptually. And we did a much better job right in the middle third of the floor of being able to attack downhill, which was a good thing for us. I wish I would have done it more in the second half, earlier to start the second half, because that's when the game got a little bit quirky. But we made enough plays offensively. You know, Louis had 9 assists in the game. As a team, we had 15 assists. You know, David Green had 5 turnovers in 15 minutes. You know, we didn't have Dave tonight. He didn't play real well. You know, but I thought in general, if you look at how we were able to start the play, the back 12 minutes, 10 minutes, 8, we had enough plays on offense. We also generated fouls. You can't get fouled time and time again. Go to the free throw line and miss front ends of the 1-and-1 or a pair of free throws, or you're not going to win. It doesn't matter who you are. When you're in 50-50 games and you're drawing fouls, going to the foul line, you can extend that game. You can hold 3-possession lead, 2-possession lead. With 5 minutes to go in the game, we couldn't knock them down, and we just let that game hang around enough, and eventually they made one. And when they made one, boom. You know, you could felt a little bit of the air and the steam go out of it. We still had enough time. Our kids still battled, found a way. I mean, we had some unfortunate plays late with the free throw blockout rebound that goes off David. I mean, there's not enough winning DNA right now, man. There's just not. And we have to get better. We have to keep working, and part of it will be show up tomorrow morning, show up tomorrow afternoon, and let's be ready to roll, and let's go on the road, and let's be a lot better on the road than we were. But it's no secret right now. I mean, we're not playing particularly well. Tonight was a gettable game for us in different moments of the game. We didn't handle the start of the second half well. We couldn't convert free throws when we really needed to have a chance to either extend it, get a 2-possession lead. And then at the end of the day, you know, give them credit. They made tough drives. They made good plays. They made winning plays. And we didn't. So you're angry after the game. You're emotional. You'll go back and you'll watch the film. I don't think it'll really change, other than I wish I would have done a better job earlier in the second half, all the way through the second half, of not trying to play up the floor like we normally do. We would have to walk that thing down, keep it in the guys' hands. We needed to keep it in, try to get to the lane. Couple lobs, we did a good job. Post the ball more, but once we started playing to start the second half, they're guarding 3 players back to the ball, and 2 players stand in the middle of the paint. And they don't guard you. The 3 guys that are being guarded aren't getting any catches, so you have to be able to operate off of that. And at times we did good. Times we didn't do good, but I also think, you know, we shot 54% in the second half. We were 3 for 6 from 3. We went 7 for 15 from the foul line. That hurt us. I mean, 7 for 15 from the foul line. And at one point, I think it was about 4 or 5 in a row that it was crushing. You know, it really was.
Coach, can you talk more about Jeremy? It felt like every time he was on the court,
He's getting better. He needs to play more for us. I mean, you can tell just how he's moving, how he's jumping. And the more minutes you give him, the more experience he gets, the better he's going to be. And he gives us a chance offensively, you know, to have another scorer out there with David. You know, when David wasn't in the game tonight, David had to play a little bit more of the 4. We didn't have Zeke available for the game. So, you know, we're going to have to play a little bit big. We didn't have the option to really go as small. But Jeremy did a good job, and he played 23 minutes tonight, got 13 points. And he's a good offensive player, and he needs to play some more. You know, he really does. He's got to stay with it here over the next deal, and maybe we can grow him into having a bigger role here over the next couple weeks. But no question about it, he did a good job tonight. He and David both are freshmen in there, man. They're both freshmen in there, and we're relying on them to make every play, get every rebound. And they both stepped up, and I thought did a really good job in the game.
Anything more on Zeke and Connor?
Zeke's dealing with back spasms, and Connor Dubsky's dealing with a groin issue. I don't think anything is, serious enough where they're going to be out significant time. But I don't see either guy being able to play this week. We'll probably have to take inventory as we start to get into next week.
Coach, turnovers have been a big struggle this season. Only had 5 points from turnovers compared to Fordham's 15. Is that going to be a point of emphasis heading into the next few weeks?
Yeah, turnovers is an emphasis every day. If we take care of the ball, we have a chance. you know, and this is a 50-50 game, and for the most part, we took care of it. You know, for the most part, I thought we took care of it. I thought a couple of Louis turnovers probably were a result of fatigue. Probably needed to throw Always in there in the second half a little bit more. But, you know, I think we turned it over 14 times tonight. One of them was the very last play, so we really realistically probably played with about 13 or 12 turnovers in live action, which was good because Fordham, you know, they can change it up on you a little bit. But, you know, Fordham playing with 6 turnovers is the problem. Nobody turns the ball over against us. It's like 5-on-0 when they run their practice. And they run all their plays and they all work when no one's out there. And you just practice your plays. That's what it's like when you guard us. They all work. We good? Thanks, man. See you.